Heart-healthy diets, how every bite shapes your longevity after 60. Your heart has been with you through every joy, heartbreak, and sleepless night. It's your silent partner, steady, rhythmic, unwavering. Even when you forget to rest, to breathe, to eat right, it doesn't. It beats. On average, over 100,000 times a day. Now, let me ask you something most people don't stop to consider. What have you fed that heart today? You see, by the time you reach your 60s, your heart has already logged decades of work. It's weathered emotional storms, metabolic wear and tear, and dietary choices that, let's be honest, weren't always heart-smart. And yet, it keeps going, relentlessly. But here's the quiet truth. With age, the odds shift. Arteries stiffen, blood vessels become less elastic. Plaque builds up silently, and the very foods that once gave you comfort could now be digging away at your longevity. That bowl of instant noodles, that sugary morning pastry, that salty takeout you tell yourself is just this once, they don't just affect your waistline, they shape your cardiovascular future. Still, this isn't about guilt, it's about power, the power to pivot. Contrary to what some think, eating for heart health isn't a flavorless punishment. It's not a lifetime sentence to plain salad and dry toast. In fact, some of the world's most vibrant, joyful cuisines, Mediterranean, Okinawan, even certain plant-based soul foods, are deeply protective of heart function. The question isn't, do I have to give up everything I love? It's, what do I want more? Momentary taste or long-term strength? In this guide, we'll go far beyond eat less salt and avoid fried food. That's kindergarten advice. We're diving deeper into the biology, the emotional side of eating, the practical meal shifts, and the overlooked superfoods that cardiologists quietly eat themselves. Because after 60, every meal isn't just about fullness. It's about fuel, about protection, about keeping you strong, clear-minded, independent, and here, truly here for the people who love you. So let's take your heart off autopilot. Let's learn how to feed it well. And let's make your next chapter not just longer, but fuller, bolder, and full of
Part
vitality.
1. Why your heart needs a special diet, especially after 60. Let's cut the small talk. If you're over 60, your heart has been working non-stop for more than 2 billion beats, and it deserves more respect than a drive-through burger and a salt-loaded microwave dinner. Heart disease isn't just the leading cause of death worldwide, it's also one of the most preventable. That's the part they don't put in headlines. And while genetics, stress, and age do play a role, your fork might be your biggest ally, or your silent enemy. A poor diet does more than just add pounds around your belly. It slowly damages your arteries from the inside out. Here's how it quietly sabotages your heart. Raises bad LDL cholesterol and lowers the good HDL. Spikes blood sugar, feeding insulin resistance and prediabetes. Inflames your blood vessels, making them stiff and clogged. Increases triglycerides, a type of blood fat linked to heart attacks. Promotes weight gain, especially the deep belly fat that hugs your organs like a vice. This isn't just theory. I've seen it in clinic after clinic, year after year. Good people who didn't feel sick, but were walking around with silent heart bombs ticking away. The good news? You have more control than you think. A smart diet can drop your cholesterol, lower your blood pressure, balance your blood sugar, and reduce inflammation, often with better results than some medications, and with none of the side effects. All you need? A little clarity and a lot less confusion from those diet fads online. Part 2. The real foundations of a heart-healthy diet. Science, not hype. So, what exactly should you eat to keep that heart muscle pumping strong? We're not talking about trendy superfoods or miracle smoothies. We're talking about a timeless, evidence-backed style of eating that's helped millions worldwide. I call them the 6 sacred pillars of a heart-strong plate. 1. fiber-rich whole grains, the artery sweepers. Think oats, barley, quinoa, brown rice. These grains aren't just filler. They act like gentle brooms, sweeping out excess cholesterol and stabilizing blood sugar so your insulin doesn't go haywire. Swap white bread for sprouted grain. Replace sugary cereal with warm oatmeal plus berries. Your heart will smile. 2. Healthy fats. Yes, fat can be healing. Olive oil, avocados, walnuts, flax seeds, and fatty fish like salmon. These fats reduce inflammation and help prevent plaque from forming in your arteries. Ditch the trans fats hiding in margarine, processed snacks, and fast food. Cook with olive oil, snack on almonds, and say yes to guacamole without the chips overload. 3. Lean proteins plus plant-based powerhouses. Skinless poultry, lentils, black beans, tofu, fish. Too much red or processed meat is linked to heart attacks. Shift toward plant proteins at least a few times a week. Meatless Monday doesn't mean tasteless. Try a lentil stew or veggie stir-fry with brown rice. 4. A rainbow of fruits and vegetables. Nature's pharmacy. The more color on your plate, the better. Leafy greens, bell peppers, blueberries, tomatoes, sweet potatoes, they're loaded with antioxidants, potassium, and fiber. Aim for 5 to 9 servings a day. Not hard when you start adding veggies to breakfast and snacking on fruit. 5. Low sodium, big flavor. Salt stiffens blood vessels and raises pressure, quietly wearing down your heart over time. Flavor doesn't mean salt. Use garlic, lemon, basil, turmeric, black pepper. Your taste buds will thank you. Tip: rinse canned beans or veggies, or better yet, go fresh or frozen. 6. Sugar, the sweet saboteur. Excess sugar leads to inflammation, high triglycerides, and belly fat. It's not just about cookies. Many sauces, dressings, and even healthy yogurts hide added sugar. Read labels. Cut sugary drinks. Use cinnamon or vanilla to sweeten naturally. Final word from the heart, literally. This isn't about being perfect. It's about making daily, loving choices that honor the organ that's carried you through joy, heartbreak, hard work, and healing. So start small. Add berries to your breakfast. Try grilled salmon tonight. Keep a water bottle nearby. Toss the white bread. Because at the end of the day, your heart is fighting for you. Make sure your food fights with it, not against it.
Part 3. Superfoods that whisper thank you to your heart. I've treated thousands of patients over the years, and here's what I always tell them. Food isn't just fuel, it's a form of communication with your heart. Some foods speak the language of healing. These are the ones I recommend again and again, especially for those past 50 when the arteries start whispering complaints. Let's meet your heart's best friends. Salmon and other fatty fish. Rich in omega-3 fatty acids, salmon helps lower triglycerides and calm irregular heartbeats. Think of it as natural heart rhythm therapy straight from the sea. Berries, blueberries, strawberries, raspberries. These little gems are packed with antioxidants that fight oxidative stress and help regulate blood pressure. Bonus, they're sweet without the sugar crash. Walnuts. A daily handful brings in plant-based omega-3s and magnesium, which helps keep your heartbeat steady and blood pressure under control. Extra virgin olive oil. Pour it over salads or veggies instead of butter. It's full of monounsaturated fats that protect artery walls and reduce inflammation. Dark leafy greens, kale, spinach, arugula. Loaded with nitrates that naturally relax blood vessels. I call them nature's gentle vasodilators. Legumes, beans, lentils, chickpeas. High in fiber and protein, these help reduce LDL, bad cholesterol, and keep your digestive system happy too. Green tea. Light, soothing, and backed by studies showing reduced risk of stroke and cardiovascular death, especially in older adults. Dark chocolate. Yes, really. Choose 70% cocoa or higher. In moderation, the flavonoids help lower blood pressure. Just a square or two, not the whole bar. Avocados. Creamy, satisfying, and full of potassium, a mineral that helps balance sodium and support stable blood pressure. Garlic. Raw or roasted, garlic supports blood pressure control and may help reduce the buildup of artery-clogging plaque. Try adding 2 or 3 of these into your weekly meals. Small shifts can have big echoes in your long-term heart health. Dash Point, Part 4. Foods that slowly weaken your heart even if you feel fine. Let's be honest, we all have cravings. But some foods quietly chip away at heart function even when you don't feel a thing. Here are the main culprits to watch and limit. Processed meats, bacon, hot dogs, sausage, deli meats, all packed with sodium and preservatives that raise blood pressure and inflammation. Refined carbs, white bread, pastries, sweetened cereals. They spike your blood sugar and encourage fat storage around the belly. Fried foods, especially the deep-fried fast food kind, loaded with trans fats and damaged oils that age your arteries. Sodium bombs, canned soups, frozen meals, chips, high in salt and low in heart-friendly nutrients. Sugary sodas and sweets, a double blow of sugar and inflammation. These fuel insulin resistance and raise your triglycerides sky high. Dark chocolate, yes, really. Choose 70% cocoa or higher. In moderation, the flavonoids help lower blood pressure. Just a square or two, not the whole bar. Avocados. Creamy, satisfying, and full of potassium, a mineral that helps balance sodium and support stable blood pressure. Garlic. Raw or roasted, garlic supports blood pressure control and may help reduce the buildup of artery-clogging plaque. Try adding 2 or 3 of these into your weekly meals. Small shifts can have big echoes in your long-term heart health. Part 4. Foods that slowly weaken your heart. Let's be honest, we all have cravings. But some foods quietly chip away at heart function, even when you don't feel a thing. Here are the main culprits to watch and limit. Processed meats, bacon, hot dogs, sausage, deli meats, all packed with sodium and preservatives that raise blood pressure and inflammation. Refined carbs, white bread, pastries, sweetened cereals. They spike your blood sugar and encourage fat storage around the belly. Fried foods, especially the deep-fried fast food kind, loaded with trans fats and damaged oils that age your arteries. Sodium bombs, canned soups, frozen meals, chips, high in salt and low in heart-friendly nutrients. Sugary sodas and sweets, a double blow of sugar and inflammation. These fuel insulin resistance and raise your triglycerides sky high. You don't need to cut them out entirely, just pull back. Even small reductions have measurable impact, especially when—
Part 7. A real-world, heart-loving meal plan you'll actually enjoy. Now, let's make this real. You don't need to live on kale and cardboard to eat for your heart. Here's what a simple, nourishing day could look like, something I often suggest to my patients who want to protect their heart but still enjoy their food. Breakfast. Warm bowl of old-fashioned oatmeal, topped with fresh blueberries and chopped walnuts. A splash of unsweetened almond milk for creaminess. Optional, a dash of cinnamon for blood sugar balance. This combo fuels your morning, lowers cholesterol, and keeps you full without spiking blood sugar. Lunch. Grilled wild-caught salmon, served over a kale, quinoa, and roasted veggie salad, drizzled with homemade olive oil plus lemon vinaigrette. You're hitting omega-3s, fiber, antioxidants, and healthy fats all in one delicious bowl. Afternoon snack. A handful of raw almonds and a cup of hot green tea unsweetened. This is your anti-inflammation break. No crash, no guilt. Dinner. Hearty lentil and tomato soup with garlic and herbs. Steamed broccoli with lemon zest. A baked sweet potato topped with a pinch of paprika. It's warm, grounding, and loaded with potassium, fiber, and plant-based protein. Dessert. Optional but deserved. 1 square of 80% dark chocolate.
Because being heart healthy doesn't mean being joyless. Part 8. The top 3 questions my patients always ask. I've heard it all in my office, from worried whispers to confident myths. Let's set the record straight. Question 1. Can I still eat eggs, doctor? A. Yes, eggs are back on the table. For most healthy adults, 1 egg a day is perfectly fine. The real issue is what you eat with the egg. Skip the sausage, keep the veggies. The overall diet pattern matters far more than one food. Question 2. Do I need to give up carbs completely? A. No, and I'd never ask you to. Carbs aren't the enemy. Processed carbs are. Choose fiber-rich, slow-digesting options like oats, lentils, quinoa, and fruit. They keep your energy steady and your blood vessels happy. Question 3. Is butter totally off limits? Butter isn't evil, but it's not your heart's best friend either. Think of it like a luxury. Use a little when it adds joy, but swap in olive oil or avocado when you can. It's not about being perfect, it's about making smarter swaps 80% of the time. Part 9. The Mediterranean Diet. More than a diet, it's a way of life. If I had to choose one eating pattern to write on a prescription pad for heart health, it wouldn't be a fad or a restrictive trend. It would be the Mediterranean diet, the one that's fed generations who live longer, laugh more, and walk into old age with clarity and strength. This isn't just supported by a few studies, it's backed by decades of global research, including the famed PREDIMENT trial, which found that following this diet can reduce heart attack, stroke, and cardiovascular death by up to 30%. So what makes it special? It's not a diet. It's a rhythm, a culture, a love letter to your arteries. It's about generous drizzles of olive oil, replacing butter and heavy sauces. Fresh vegetables and fruits, not just as sides, but as stars. Fish over fried food, legumes over red meat. Whole grains that keep your blood sugar steady. And yes, a glass of red wine, sipped slowly, shared in laughter. No measuring, no obsessing, just a beautiful balance of flavor, tradition, and nourishment. And perhaps most importantly, it's delicious enough to actually enjoy and stick with. Final thoughts. Feed the heart that's never failed you. Let me speak to you not just as a doctor, but as someone who has looked into the eyes of hundreds of patients over the decades, some thriving, some desperate, many simply unsure of how to begin. Here's what I want you to hear. Your heart has never taken a day off for you. It's beat for you in grief, in love, in illness, in joy. It has never once asked for a break. Now it's your turn to give something back. You don't need to overhaul your entire pantry in a day. You don't need to fear food or aim for perfection. But you do need to choose. One bite, one step, one new habit at a time. Because every forkful is a decision. To heal or to harm. To support or to stress. To live longer or not. Start small, maybe with oatmeal tomorrow, or salmon this weekend, or by swapping your chips for a handful of walnuts. Let the habit grow roots. And remember this, you're not just eating to fill your stomach, you're eating to protect your future, to stay strong, independent, alive. So the next time you open the fridge, pause and ask your heart what it needs. Then feed it like you mean it.